Big Pete. Hey, man, look. So we are here, and we're having hot dogs. We're talking hot dogs today. So new vendor in the market, Big Pete. I don't know anything about. There's a lot of stuff on here. This is a Chicago dog.
It's direct through the garden. That's how we do it in Chicago on the south side, north side. That's a Chicago dog.
I don't know anything about these kind of dogs, but you're going to tell us all about the Chicago dogs in a second. Okay, I'm here with the newest vendor. Doing a little hot dog pop-up for the summertime, and we are doing, but it's, taking off like crazy, and we'll talk about that in a second. Chicago-style dogs, Big Pete, welcome to the program, man.
Great to be with the program. It's great to be in the market. We've been coming here for years to eat as, eating people, the foodies in New Orleans, and after some pushing and pulling and thought process, we decided to give it a shot ourselves.
You're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, it's been overwhelmingly amazing.
Okay, so you were doing Chicago-style hot dogs, which I knew was a thing, but I've never had one because, I'm more of a, no lucky dogs. But so Chicago-style, drank through the garden. Tell me about it. What is on this? It's a bunch of.
So this hot dogs is Chicago's version of the po' boy, basically. It's it was made during the Depression. It was something to fill everybody up. It's something everybody had.
A Depression. Okay.
It's also termed the Depression dog. There's a variation of that. Up north, sometimes they'll do it a little simpler. Maybe not all the ingredients, and a handful of hand-cut fries. Wrap it up. It's a meal. You take it to go, and you're done. That's it.
Wow.
And that's what they did. Potatoes were cheap back then, but a true Chicago style dog is an all-beef hot dog, and these are Vienna quarter-pound all-beef dogs made with beef brisket trimmings, naturally smoked.
All-beef smoked.
All-beef, naturally smoked. They've been around since 1893, made by the great-grandfather, and they've been tried and true ever since. It's the only product I wanted in this market to be able to do what we do. So it starts off with the poppy seed bun. That's quite the feature. It's not something we get in New Orleans much, but a poppy seed bun on your Chicago-style dog, and we'll talk more about that later too.
Okay.
So you get your poppy seed bun, dog goes in the bun, you start off with your yellow mustard, you go to your fluorescent green Chicago-only relish, which is also a special order here for us, and then you go with your onions.
So you're getting all of the, real quick, you're
like
bringing all the ingredients from Chicago to get this stuff.
Most of them, some I get locally, but the meat and potatoes, the important ones, you end up with you get your onions, your pickle spear, your 2 tomato slices, and your sport peppers, which are in the Tabasco family, but are a pickled pepper, and there was just a global shortage on those peppers, which is really mind-boggling to me that peppers would have a global shortage. So we've had to make do with a little different pepper. It's pretty much the same thing, but when I get the new ones in tomorrow, they're going to be amazing.
Okay, all right.
But these are fantastic. They meet my litmus test. So
you're saying all of this. I think that's really you're speaking with the passion of the what makes this hot dog a real Chicago-style hot dog. Like, you're super passionate about that.
Yeah, everything I do, I'm really passionate about, to be honest. But with this is what I grew up on. We grew up on dogs. You go to the baseball games, you go to the White Sox game, you go to a Cub game, which I wouldn't do that. I'm a South Sider. We don't do that. However, but this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a dog. We have mom and pop hot dog shops
look at this dude. This is the dude you want making your Chicago-style hot dog, man. That's it.
And even though we did our soft opening last Monday, grand opening was Saturday, and Saturday blew my expectations out of the water. But everybody that's come in here that's either from Chicago, been to Chicago, moved here from Chicago visiting, has said this is the best dog that they've ever had. And that to me goes to the heart for the compliment, because we grew up on this exact item. This is its simplicity, but it's taste, quality, and your freshness. Everything rolls into one. And like I said with Vienna, I was on the phone with the president of Vienna Hot Dogs for 2 hours. We got cut off during a Zoom meeting, and we picked it up over the phone, and he's like, we want to give you we want your dogs to be in there. They sent me signage, they sent t-shirts, they sent everything and all our support.
So you're super Chicago. You speak with the passion of this, like we would speak about a shrimp po' boy or an oyster po' boy or gumbo or whatever. But you live here in New Orleans now, obviously. What brought you to New Orleans?
Well, a lot of things brought me to New Orleans, but what kept me to New Orleans was work. I'm a union pipe fitter by trade, and I came down here, and I was the superintendent, one of the piping superintendents at the Veterans Hospital when it was getting built for a good 4 or 5 years. Then I went to a couple other contractors. Figured I can't make Chicago money in New Orleans because it just isn't here. So we started our own sandblasting business. And you know, we're 6 years strong on that. It's been great. We've been having some mechanical issues with our machine, and we just decided to switch a little gears for right now.
Do some hot dogs.
You know, and the whole concept of this stemmed about 5-6 years ago. We were just at a Christmas festival on Harrison over in Lakeview, and I said, man, you know what would be really cool? I told Terry, I said, my wife, and I said, if they had a little hot dog cart here, you know, I said, I wonder how that would do in this city. And that was one of those ideas that festered in us for years.
As it turns out, so you've been here a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
And you have quickly become one of the biggest vendors in here. Absolutely incredible. I mean, that you've done it with a hot dog. Like people have been. I've actually been getting it quite a lot. It's just a nice lunch. It's a nice, quick lunch. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It feels healthier than a hot dog. Like, you didn't expect New Orleans to embrace the Chicago dog?
No, I didn't, because I mean, even as a tourist, when I used to come down as a tourist, the only place I knew of was Lucky Dog, and the best part about Lucky Dog was 2-3 o'clock in the morning and getting a sausage off the cart, and that was okay, but not my cup of tea. It's not a hot dog, and quite frankly, New Orleans really isn't a hot dog place, right? That's not what you're thinking when you're coming here.
No.
You're Creole, Cajun, po' boys, gumbo, right, jambalaya, right? That's what you're thinking as a tourist. You're not thinking a Chicago-style dog.
And so Pete and I originally did this as a fun little pop-up. We were going to call it the Dog Days of the summer. He was just going to come in during the summer and do some hot dogs. But now we don't know yet. But if you can comment and share and like and subscribe and everything. But if you want Pete to be a permanent vendor here at St. Roch, I think there's a good possibility of that happening, huh?
And it doesn't take a lot of persuading. I'm pretty busy. I've got a lot of things going. I'm also played hockey for 33 years. I'm a ex-goaltender. I'm also a color commentator for the Monroe Moccasins of the Federal Prospects Hockey League.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, from October to April, and hopefully we have a little better season than we did last year. But we had our fan base is fantastic, and I tell you what, don't be surprised if the NHL doesn't come to New Orleans. I may know a thing or two about that. I know a thing or two about that. I can say things, and there's things I can't say, but it sounds like it could be a go. We're looked at for expansion, so stay tuned for that.
Okay.
But I mean, this is far as
you're in that world too.
I am, and the ownership that I'm currently involved with is that ownership as well. So
Dude, how do you got your hands in
I'm writing
everything.
a book at some point. I'm going to write a book, right? And you and I met years back just at church, right?
Yeah,
so probably at least a good 10 years now.
Yeah,
just known each other from then, and then morphed into.
You're here doing hot dogs.
It morphed into me drinking your coffee, which we rave about anyway.
Speaking of the coffee, all right. So I was gonna, we got part of the coffee with Kevin show is what coffee you drinking? Is it medium roast drip? What you're not into the fancy lattes?
Yeah. So Terry and I are coffee snobs, and we don't. Every time I drive Uber, we'll add that to my list, right?
Yeah.
And I get every once in a while, where's the Starbucks? And I think we can honestly count on one hand how many there are. And they're in hotels.
Yeah.
I send everybody to either Coast Roast or Coast Roast.
Yeah.
Because it's flat out our favorite coffee. This coffee, and what we appreciate too is we live in Arabi.
Yeah.
And the coffee house blocks from us carries Coast Roast coffee. Yeah. So it's like we forget about that because we'd rather come patronize here. But the coffe's fantastic. It gets you going. I mean, just the regular. I've got the regular drip. I'm an Olay person. Mm-hmm. But it's got the regular drip, and it's fantastic.
Because it's the afternoon, I'm getting my lunch here, and because usually I'm doing drip too, but I'm doing iced tea because I'm doing a hot dog, so I want to do the iced tea,
this all started as just kind of a hey, what do you think, right?
And I'm pumped with the way it's going, man.
Yeah, and I can also credit for our fine folks over at Olive Cheese and Crackers for also kind of kicking us in the butt, moving that direction as well. We've been friends with Allison and Troy for quite a while as well. We're all Arabi neighbors, and we literally met them at an Arabi. It was an old Arabi neighborhood meeting.
Delicious.
Thank you.
I know. people are starting to make fun of me. They're saying, "Oh, you're running St. Roch, but you turned it into the St. Bernard Market."
Well, you do what you gotta do, right? It's great.
Well, Ritza, she's not from St. Well, you're not from St. Bernard either.
I'm really not, but that's where, and it reminds me, St. Bernard Parish reminds me a whole lot of southern and central Illinois. It's very family oriented, and Chicago actually is like that too. Chicago, the term Chicago style of anything really means family style. Like Chicago pizza, for example, a lot of people don't understand this, especially people not from the area. Chicago style pizza, what is it?
Deep dish.
Not at all.
See,
and I just posted on Facebook.
I knew that.
Exactly. So
I heard that.
So ours is thin crust, party style, or square cut tavern style. So they're squares. They're cut in small squares because it actually feeds more because you think you're eating more. And a lot of the taverns or corner bars in the neighborhoods, like we have here, like our little corner restaurants and such, that's what they served. And it means you sit down, you eat as a family, opposed to New York's fold and go street food. You're ripping and running. We want to sit down and have a conversation with your family and hang out. So that's Chicago style. So, and even the name Chicago style hot dogs, we twisted that as well with the EAUX.
Yes, it's Big Pete's Chicago style hot dogs. Okay, Big Pete's Chicago style hot dogs. He is here doing a pop-up all summer long, but you might want to beg him to stay, and you might be persuaded to stay.
I might be persuaded to stay.
Yeah, you've been
People are coming from far and wide, and
that's crazy. I know you had somebody from Hattiesburg.
We had Hattiesburg yesterday because they saw our niece posted on did a TikTok videos on Saturday.
That's insane.
Sunday morning, she texted us and said,
driving here from Hattiesburg,
and they're like, "Hey, just the videos. It's 1,600 reshares as of Sunday morning. By the afternoon, it was at 20,000. Right now, it's at 36,600." And I got people say, "Yeah, we saw you on TikTok." I'm like, well, I guess we need to get on TikTok, all right? So that's what we did. So it's the most appreciated.
So, here's the thing. You come get the hot dog, come see Pete. This is this is a Chicago style hot dog, but you and I both know that New Orleans is passionate about their food, and the fact that you're as passionate about this hot dog as we are about our food, this is freaking awesome. So come, check him out before he's gone. He might not be gone. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. But you might want to come this summer to St. Roch to get Big Pete's Chicago AUX style dog. Pete,
yeah.
Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Take care.